it's Tara Darlington here from Empowering Motherhood, and this is one of our mini talks that will be coming to you through the Patreon subscription. So what I want to talk to you today about is how many women put themselves last or outside the pack when it comes to self-care. So not only is self-care then become a job and extra work and exhausting in itself, it's also something that can't be integrated into your lifestyle. So what we want to do is flip it on its head, and so that you actually include you too in the weekly, daily lifestyle of the family that looks after you as well, rather than trying to look after everybody else, micromanaging everybody else, and then trying to find me time for you. And as I always say, if me time is the only self-care that you've got happening, it's never going to cut it. It's never going to be enough, because your output of energy is always going to be more than your input. So what we want to do is flip it on its head and actually allow, create a lifestyle, a rhythm for you, for the family, for your life in general that includes your self-care. So what do I mean by that? The first thing is, as I said, me time on its own is never going to be enough, because it becomes a job in itself. So I'm not saying that me time's not important, it is important, but if that's all you've got, your output, as I said, is going to be more than your input. And so there's always going to be a deficit there. So I know if you have young children trying to get to yoga, trying to go and have your hair done, nails done, a massage, time out with friends, a weekend away, the amount of work that goes into creating that is quite a lot. Now, we do need that time, but if that's all you've got, it is not going to be enough. And what I see is many women are depleted. Over time, their output's more than their input, and they're leaking energy. And so they are slowly becoming depleted, which leads to exhaustion, sometimes depression, and then that can lead into anxiety. So what can happen is, as you get depleted and exhausted, your fight or flight kicks in, or your adrenaline, your cortisol hormones, so that you're artificially keeping yourself lifted up to get up and do each day again and again and again. So me time on its own is never going to be enough. We definitely need it. I know I need it. I need that time away on my own, and sometimes it's shutting the door, having a long shower, a bath, getting out of the house to do something for me on my own or with friends perhaps. But it can't be all that you do. So the key to this is including yourself in the collective of the family, rather than seeing yourself on the outside. So rather than managing life and then you're last on the list and you're trying to get your needs met, you want to include yourself into the collective, into the needs of the family, which means you actually need to get really clear on what is it that you want and what is it that you need. Without that clarity, you're going to be, and I see it a lot with women, trying to say, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to do this, and the habit doesn't stick, because your intention, there's not enough strength in the intention behind it of what is it that you actually want in your life. How do you actually want to live your life? What do you actually want to be creating for you and your family? So when we step all the way back and ask this question, and we have the intention of putting yourself into the collective rather than on the outside, or I think of it like, often I'll say to our clients, you've got yourself on the outside of the pack rather than in the pack. Or the other way I like to put it is, you're the cinnamon in the Moroccan curry and you haven't put yourself into the mix, which is actually that spice that makes it all amazing and wonderful. So you're leaving yourself out of the mix, or outside of the pack, or outside of the collective, and trying to meet your own needs separately to everyone else's. We want to bring it back into the mix. So the question that you need to ask yourself is, what is it that you really want more than anything else in your life? What do you want to be creating? How do you want to feel? How do you want to show up for your family? And that really coming to terms that your needs are important too. So it's not even put your own oxygen mask on first or me time. Those things are important, but there's an element that's stronger underneath all of this, which is including your needs as important as well as everybody else's, because everybody's needs need to be met by the family rhythm, the lifestyle, the choices that are made for the family. So I love Jada Pinkett Smith's quote, which is, don't tell your kids how to live life, show them how to live life. So we want to then move into a place where we're role modeling how to live life to the children, and then it ripples out to them. So if you're looking after yourself in a way that is keeping your mind clear, keeping you feeling happy, giving yourself time to process your own emotions, giving you time, a nice balance between time to yourself and time with the family, work, this flow in and out, so you're breathing in and out of these things, then you're going to role model to your children. They're immersed in how to live life. And I really do see that then as teenagers, they will come to you rather than disconnect from you. So we want to show them how to live life and be role models rather than looking after their needs over here and looking after your needs over here. So the question is, how the fuck do we do this? There's 3 things that I want to share with you today. 3 ways to get started. The first thing is you need to, which I actually call the first paradigm shift, is that you need to get yourself out of exhaustion and out of depletion. You need to get yourself out of exhaustion and out of depletion. So many women are depleted before they even get pregnant, let alone go through pregnancy and birth and not allow their body to fully recover. Next thing you know, you're chasing after toddlers. You're doing the school run, you've got afternoon activities, and then moving into teenagers and baby after each time you have a baby or a pregnancy or a miscarriage or an IVF treatment, you are getting depleted more and more and more. So the first thing we want to do, and I'm sure this resonates with a lot of you because I've spoken to a lot of my clients who say the same thing. So the first step is to say, acknowledge if you're exhausted and feeling depleted, and start to ask yourself, what do you need to do to start building up your energy? And the second thing to do is to simplify your life. Simplify, simplify, simplify. So a lot of my clients, I'll recommend that they go and buy the Marie Kondo book and declutter, because clutter in the house, and it's an ongoing process. Every time someone changes and people grow up and the dynamics of the household change, new clothes have got to go, new clothes have got to come in, and there's a rearranging of the house, the family rhythm and your life. And each time there's a decluttering process that needs to happen. So we want to simplify our life as much as possible to allow and support the recovery from the exhaustion and the depletion. So ask yourself, what do you need to simplify in your life? I see a lot of people running around after their kids, and I know with the quarantine that's happening when I'm filming this video, everyone's getting a bit of relief from the running around to after school activities, which is really, really exhausting. Okay, so what action can you take to start simplifying your life so that you're not outputting more than you're inputting as far as your own energy reserves go? So the third thing is a gratitude practice. And I know it sounds like a bit of a cliche, but I'm talking about a gratitude practice for you. What are you grateful for about yourself? What are you grateful for? What do you appreciate for yourself and about yourself? Who you are, past, present, and future. What you do, past, present, and future. So a gratitude practice, or you can move it into the word appreciation, which has a slightly different energy, and you might find it easier to start with appreciation. What do you take a moment to appreciate you for all that you are, all that you do, sacrifices that you've made, past, present, and future. And in that, you will actually find there is quite a lot of energy there for you, and it will shift your perspective and help you also to see where you need to simplify life, and where you're being depleted in your life. So that third practice is the gratitude and appreciation for you. And these three things will feed into each other. So I'll just say those again. The first thing is to look at where your exhaustion's coming from and the depletion, and to plug those energy leaks. So what is exhausting you? What is depleting you? We want to get out of that. Do you need to go to the naturopath? Do you need a little bit more exercise? Do you need more rest? What is it that you need? The second thing is to simplify your life. Where can you simplify your life to make things a little bit easier, bring a little bit more joy back into the daily life? And the third thing is the gratitude or appreciation practice. And I'm talking about appreciation for you, all that you do, all that you are, past, present, and future. And that can just be as simple as writing a couple of things down of what you appreciate about yourself, and appreciate giving yourself this time to stop and watch this video is an example. Appreciating how much effort you put into cooking good food for your family. Appreciate what you've sacrificed in order to look after others. Okay, so that appreciation practice or gratitude practice is the third element, and you can see how they'll feed into each other. And when you come into gratitude and appreciation, it opens you up into the present moment, and there's a lot of resources there that aren't available otherwise. I'm talking about resources of creativity, resources of ideas and intuition, of looking outside of the box for you and your family to create a lifestyle and a rhythm that looks after everyone, including you. So if you follow on to the meditation is going to take you into a gratitude and appreciation meditation for you. So I look forward to seeing you there.